Hey guys, we got trouble in the makeup room this morning. My ring light went out. I have two big softbox lights. You can probably see the tip of one of them up here in this room. As you know, I get up early. That's when I do my videos. It's dark outside. So I rely on these artificial lights, and right in between these two softbox lights, I have my ring light. That's my primary lighting source every day. For videos, my camera is mounted right in the middle of it, and the bulb went out today. That bulb has lasted a long time, but it went out today. I know I have a replacement somewhere. I think it's like under the bed in the room where Uga's sleeping. So needless to say, I'm not going in for it today, but my video is just kind of chatty anyway, talking about some things that I love to travel with beauty-wise. It's not like the entire stash of things that I would take. Not everything is like a monumental, oh, you take a mascara and wow, like that, that's no big revelation, but just like some certain things that I think really matter and make life a little easier. We've been traveling to a lot of cheerleading competitions lately that involve maybe a 1 or 2 night stay in a hotel. And I've found that there are some good choices I can make to just kind of make my life easier, streamline things, or just a really key product that shouldn't be forgotten. And a lot of the things I'm going to be mentioning, I'm just looking at my face today, seeing how blended I got. Like, I didn't do my makeup with my key light either, so I'm hoping it looks okay. But this past weekend, we traveled to just outside of Memphis. It was South Haven, Mississippi. We just dipped our toe into Mississippi going there, and it's really only like a 3-hour drive from where we live. Isn't that crazy? We're in Southern Illinois, but we can be in Memphis in 3 hours. We can be in Nashville in 3 hours also. But anyway, we had an overnight stay, and I decided to try out that new little Girl Scouts makeup bag, the Hard Candy and Girl Scouts collab. It's got the little cookie zipper pull. This is what I chose to take with me. Now, it is a little smaller than the Sonia Kashuk makeup bag that I usually take, and that one, I showed it in a recent video. It separates things out a little bit more. Here we're looking at one of those styles of bags where it's just like a big empty cavern in the bottom, but up top, a nice place to actually store some brushes or anything, but I think it's good for brushes. I've already unpacked this bag. I've put things away, but last night I was making a list of the things that I think really matter to travel with. And one thing, I think it's your double-ended brushes time to shine when you're traveling. A lot of us store brushes maybe in a cup or a holder where you're putting a brush down in, and it's not a practical way to store a double-ended brush. Like, I have a little tray out here where I lay certain double-ended brushes, but for travel, they're great. I'm sure many of us are not traveling with an upright cup that's sitting like this all the time. So if you've got double-ended brushes, use them because they can go in a makeup bag just fine. And then also you're minimizing just the sheer amount of different brushes by having some that can do a couple of functions. So like, I enjoy this one from Persona. You got like a foundation blender and then a little concealer brush. The e.l.f. Duo Complexion brush is a good one too. This one from that brand called Monge that I got off the TikTok shop. Concealer, this larger side can fully blend out concealer or be foundation too. Powder or like cream contour together in one. Persona, again, with the eye brushes, double-ended. This one has like kind of a semi-flat side, like it can pat on, it can wedge in the crease, and it can blend. So just something to think about. If you're a little bit like generally frustrated by a double-ended brush, I do think travel is a good time to bust it out. Another thing I think is great to travel with are the little perfume samples. Yes, it's also their time to shine. I'm not hell-bent on using my signature scent everywhere I go. And I have a lot of scents that I like to use, actually. I like bouncing around. If I had to peg one that I'm like, that's my really special one, I would say it's the Replica Whispers in the Library. Hard one to find these days, but I love that smell. It's rich, it's deep, it's so good. But when it comes to travel, like, let's just take something that smells good. I'm not picky about that. And I've got a little area over there of just samples. Take a sample. That's going to be plenty. This one happens to be the Skylar Vanilla Sky. I don't own it in a full size. I don't wear it all the time, but yeah, that'll do just fine. I also have this kind of like mid-size Lancome Idole Aura. This one actually has a little cap, which is nice. A little less risky with the cap, but just something small like that. I reserve that stuff for travel. Also, one thing I don't take with me are all my serums. I just feel like glass bottles, several of them, I don't want them clanking around in there. If it's just going to be a day or two, I can get by without. And I do make sure though that I take my Vanity Cream. So Vanity Cream, the moisturizing cream that pumps out of a big tub with a blue top on it. find a smaller receptacle for that and take it with you. So like I leave this one generally up here in my makeup room all the time. Hair, but like this is an old Bobbi Brown container and I've pumped a bunch of Vanity cream in there, and then I've got it up here and I use it as my eye cream pretty much every day. But the thought that I'm not taking my serums, but if I get extra dry, you don't know, with different water, different places, whatever, maybe you get some dry skin patches, knowing you have that Vanity cream with you is a really good thing. And I take my regular moisturizer, which happens to be the Vanity Cream Daily Facial Moisturizer, but for added moisture, this is a good thing to take with you. And just find some smaller little container that you can wash out and use for it. Or travel sections probably have something small and compact that you could pump that into. Here's another thing that's great to travel with: a foundation stick. Yes, this is my Milani Conceal and Perfect Blur Out Skin Tint Stick. I'm wearing this one today. I think it's beautiful. The more I use it, the more I like it. I wear the shade 05. There is an extra cap in there that they advise you keep on, and it's a very good advanced texture that does feel a lot like my Fenty as it glides on the skin. A little less moisture going on than that, but still feels really high end. Very enjoyable. But why would I say a stick foundation? Well, I enjoy not having to like pump something out on my fingers, get it all around. Like, it's just fussier. It's a less fussy way to go if you can just streak it on and blend it out, right? If I'm not on my home turf getting ready, I want some of the easier products to use. And I find that to be easier, just less fussy. We're not having another glass bottle jostling around in the bag. If you got the option, you got one of these that you really happen to like, take it with you when you travel. Some of these recommendations have been a little bit general, but here's a very specific one. If you like to use a loose powder every day and travel is no exception for you, I would recommend the e.l.f. Halo Glow loose powder. I like the light pink shade. I think it's fairly brightening. But as far as loose powders go, this might be as compact as you're going to get outside of a little sample size that you might happen to come up with. Like my little one size one, that's amazing. You know, that's ideal. It's really small. But for something from the drugstore that's very compact, this is great. Also, it's got the little sifter thing. So you're going to be able to cover up the holes that the powder comes out of and keep them covered so nothing's getting all messy all over the inside of the powder container as you're traveling. Why does little stuff like that give me peace? I don't know. It just does. I like more ease, less messiness. Let's travel with something like this, okay? You take it out, it's going to be the same every time. You don't have to worry. Am I suddenly going to get white powder all over, the black outfit I have on? No worries there. That's a great product. Talking a little bit less in the practical sense and more so just a great product that seems to be a godsend to me when I'm traveling. A light liner for the lower inner rim. I don't know what it is, but when I wake up in a hotel room, maybe it's just the fact that I'm getting a less quality night's sleep, usually because I'm sleeping in the same room with 3 children and also Bub, but like most of the time I'm not getting my best night's sleep. And so when I wake up in the morning, a little lightness in the lower inner rim can brighten the eyes up, can make you feel like you've been brought back to life again, or like maybe you've been swimming in the hotel pool and that pool chem is just not ideal and you wake up the next morning, eyes are a little red. Use some of this. This is the Makeup Forever one in Boundless Bisque, but you can come up with these from drugstore brands as well. I just really like the texture of this one and the tone. I think it stays in the waterline really well, and I think the color is brightening enough, but not like, hey, I've got something in my lower lash line, lower waterline. So I enjoy that. It's a good thing. Palette-wise, time to shine. Multitasking face palette is definitely a go-to for me. I might feel like, hey, I want to, experiment with this stick or this random thing, or maybe take this one single blush that I'm really in the mood to use. But overall, it's good to have one of these for a couple of reasons. Number one, multiple products in one, making it easy. Bounce around a bronzer, blush, highlighter, a finishing powder. This is the Hourglass Evil Eye edition. And I know that's not currently being sold anymore, but like if you have any of these from Hourglass or any brand in your collection, like look through, find one that might be suitable to take with you on a trip. Because the number 2 reason, the mirror. Okay, having something that you can hold up, and when it's time to do mascara or it's time to do that eye look or something more precise, you have a handy mirror that you can hold close that's larger than the size of just a little compact. Okay, that matters to me. So I will almost always throw in some form of an Hourglass palette, new or old. And then when it comes to eye palettes, I'm thinking, let's go with a less expensive one. Let's not take our favorite Viseart one, because if this bag might get knocked around just a little bit, I don't want want something breaking? Who wants to open their makeup bag and one dark shade has gone kaboom inside the makeup bag and made everything else dirty? Nobody wants that. We've all been there at least one time, right? So I'm going to take a more affordable palette. So if something does happen, it's not a huge deal to replace it. I'm going mid-size. I don't need something really big and overwhelming and just too big to take. And I'm not thinking really trio, quad, duo, because it makes me anxious to not have enough options. So I'm thinking a palette like this size. This is actually the one I'm wearing today, the new e.l.f. Keep It Ethereal palette. Something this size makes me feel very comfortable with the amount of options, the ability to go dark, the ability to just keep it light, whatever. Something like this. And then I usually take a couple of them because I like a choice. So this one is the one called, what's the name of this one? Is this something sunset, like the all matte kind of warm option? Maybe I'm toying with the idea of one of those and I like the little purple in there. And with the Cheer Squad, there's a lot of purple going on. I've brought this one a lot. The Hard Candy Going Nude, Never Looking Back. I mean, talk about everyday friendly, perfect little bronzy brown eye. Love. Just some examples of things I might take. The Rimmel Scandalized Nude Edition. You wouldn't need to take two, but I'm just kind of silly about liking to have options. So I take a couple of those. They take up very little room. I don't want anything to break, but if it did, it wouldn't be a huge deal to replace it. And also, here's a little PSA about e.l.f. minis. e.l.f. makes a lot of things mini-sized, okay? Look at their website, elfcosmetics.com. Search the word mini. You will find so many things knocked down to a smaller size. Like I've got this little primer, the little niacinamide one. This is not even my favorite primer, but because it's mini, I'm often prone to throwing it in. I also love the Woe Glow, so it's like a glowy SPF 30 in there. That's great. They make it in a mini size. They're little putty primers, mini. If you really need to save space, there's just a variety of things that they make that they've downsized. And that's worth looking into. I mean, I love having like a little mini sunscreen. And let's see, the last special thing I'll mention today, again, it's not everything I would take, but it's not groundbreaking for me to tell you, hey, I travel with concealer. Whoa, I'm just focusing on some really key helpful things, but I think it's nice to travel with a lip product that is kind of all in one. Yes, I will grab a couple lip liners, couple glosses, a lipstick here and there, maybe a tinted lip balm. But I was realizing this past time what's really valuable to take is a product that can do it all. And then you've minimized a lot of different things if you can be content with one of these. Like this is a Maybelline Superstay Vinyl ink. This product really gives you the precision of a lip liner. I'm wearing this shade today, Koi, nice medium pink. But the precision of a lip liner, the fullness of color of a lipstick, and a little bit of shine, especially in the early phase of your wear time. You'll notice a little bit of shine with this. That's why they call it vinyl. It's not outrageous shine, but kind of the shine like, oh, hey, that's a cream lipstick. The lips don't look crusty and dry, but these wear so well, so well. So if you can find a shade or two of this that you like, and you're popping that in your travel bag and you're thinking that is the full lip look in one product. So that's handy. But yeah, friends, I thought I would share that now because right here where I live, I know it's spring break week and that might be happening in some other places as well, and maybe you're getting ready to go, and those are just some things that I like to take. And I know like airplane travel, maybe that gives you some other concerns that I'm not really referencing, but for a quick trip, these are some things that I think are just practical and easy. Another thing to think about too are like just your minis that you have, and sometimes I think have minis, we own them, but we don't really use them. Like if I've got a little mini lip balm or lip gloss, and you're a person like me who likes to have something to choose from, even if it's just 1 or 2 days, taking a few minis can give you that feeling without a lot of volume of stuff. So yeah, friends, sorry about my change in setup. I think it's okay for this. The lighting is very soft and natural, I guess. Hopefully I get my ring light bulb figured out pretty soon. I think I mentioned everything I have on. It's that Milani stick. I did use this Hourglass palette that I held up and showed. I'm wearing the e.l.f. palette on my eyes, the Maybelline on my lips. My mascara is just the Essence I Love Extreme Volume Mascara. For concealer today, which one did I use? I used this Too Faced one. Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, and set it with that e.l.f. powder that I showed. So thank you so much, friends. I appreciate you spending some time with me today, and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.